Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Highlandshire. Well, today is a few days after we picked up Big Gertie, the 1970 Dodge C800 dump truck. And as you know, in the last video, we had some fueling issues. So it's time to give that truck a look over, figure out what sort of maintenance we need to do, and see if we can address that. I have a box of goodies here. So we have some new lights, which I know we needed for the rear, just the cheapos that you can get at the parts store. And I have an air filter below. That's a new old stock. That's been there a long time. I also have an oil filter and an oil change. I don't think we're going to do that today, though. It is snowing out a bit. We have just a tiny little flurry event sort of thing happening. You can't even see it, I'm sure. But we'll walk over to where Big Gertie's resting right now and see if we can't get her fired up. Okay, so let's get over to where Big Gertie is and see if she'll fire up. It's cold, it's in the 20s, and we already know this truck doesn't have any glow plugs or a grid heater, so it's going to use the old ether, I'm sure, but should have some good charged batteries, and we'll see if we can get her going. Now, the fueling issues, I had my brother come over yesterday and just pop the filter off. I was at work, and he put a new one back on, but he hasn't started it yet. I'll show you guys what he found. You're not going to believe it. And there she is, Big Gertie. So, unfortunately there's some snow on it, but check out this. You see it? So clogged. Like, disgusting. I am really confident, guys, that that is algae. I don't think it's oil or like some sort of lining that was in the tank. I've seen it before. I've never seen it that bad. But that big slimy mess, I'm pretty sure is algae. So that is why we clogged up, which wasn't too surprising. Now, let that sit there for a second. You can see Danny was kind enough to install the new filter, which is shorter, but we were not too worried about it, just didn't want to take that risk on the side of the road, and it does fit. So let's hop in and see if she's gonna fire up. Alright, so here we are up in the cab of Big Gertie, and let's see. Oh, one of the other goodies that was in that box is a new ignition switch, because holding this in place while shooting ether and turning it with a screwdriver is just not hugely practical. But we're going to try it. I'm trying to remember how I did that last time. Get my ether, go out the invisible vent window. I think I'm going to have to scoot over a little bit. Hope I'm not blocking the view too much. Let's see. This is how we did it. One hand on the screwdriver. Well, that's a bummer. Ether never even got to the engine. So I might have to go do a direct shot and get the booster pack. Hang on. We'll see. Not in the worst shape I've ever seen. I don't think we're gonna have enough turns without the booster pack, but I hear ether, but not enough battery. Okay, so it's time to go get the booster pack and see if we can get her to crank. Which stinks, because these batteries are new, but it's very cold. We're headed back to the house. I need to get the booster pack over here. I think I'm going to drive the 4Runner over too, in case I need to do double boosting with some jumper cables as well. So let's see what we come up with. Those jumper cables aren't going to reach. Maybe that wasn't the smartest place to park it. .7 volts. That's a bummer, because these are not old batteries. I did buy them used. They were sitting on the shelf, and I got them cheap. Alright, booster pack is hooked up. Let's see if she's gonna go with the booster pack. are not charging. So maybe there's still some life in these batteries. I don't know. We'll have to put them on the charger and see. I also have no idea if it's hooked up correctly. It's hooked up positive ground, which is what the man I bought it from swore by, but I'm not convinced. We'll have to do some research. So I want to test the dump function and make sure the gate is working. So we'll start with that right now. I've seen the dump go up when I bought it, but we didn't go the full range of motion. getting quite the full range. I'm gonna have to find the reservoir and make sure we have enough fluid. Good news is I don't see any leaks, but I do see some rust. You see the PTO spinning away. So it looks like the fluid reservoir is over there somewhere. That's just the return line. Geez, I don't know where the reservoir is. That's really strange. See another filter housing right there, but it's not connected to the hydraulic pump. Wow. That's new to me. I'm not entirely sure how to put fluid into that, so we'll figure it out. I guess I'm gonna kill it now and roll the battery charger out. So I don't know if it was the previous owner or the longtime owner before that, but they did write negative on this switch, which is hooked up to the red wires. So according to that, I have it hooked up correctly. But like I said, I don't know if that was Steve, who I bought it from, or if that was Mr. Pope from Pope's Pond. Couldn't tell you. But we'll disconnect that for a second and get these batteries charging. All right, and one of the air leaks is definitely from an auxiliary tank on the passenger side. Could be just a drain valve. I gotta stop walking behind this thing until it opens. I'm gonna have to kick it open or something. Can't read any of that. No idea. I got a hoist number and maybe a model number, but I can't read capacities. Yeah, so I believe the leak is somewhere in this tank. The good news is I have another one of these tanks that actually came with the bus. So if the tank itself is rusted and causing the leak, which it very well may be, that's okay. But it could also be the lines going to it. Looks like they're copper. Or at least copper coated. So like I was saying when it was running, I'm not so sure how to put fluid into this. I have a line going to the pressure side of the piston, and I have a line from the return side. Or maybe that's the pressure side, regardless. Strangely enough, I don't I don't see any place where you could hold extra fluid, except for the piston itself. So I'm not familiar enough with these older systems, but maybe that's just how they work. Maybe one of you could let me know in the comments. I'll probably Google it before we get too carried away here, but I don't know. I might have described this previously. The bed floor has failed in the past quite badly, but the steel on top is good and it's thick, and the ribs are good and thick. So I don't care about that. We're just not even gonna mess with that. It's fine. We'll probably go through and clean up this whole frame, pressure washer, and all that stuff, but that's not gonna happen to the spring. For now, we need to put this truck to work. I need to move probably another 25 yards of 5/8 gravel. So we're just gonna get it truly safe, make sure we have spare fuel filters with us, make sure our general lights are working. Right now I have a tail light that's no good, and the other one is out anyway. I have one that's completely missing. You can't see it with the bed up, but we will get to work. So on we go. Cab of Gerty 2, I think while the batteries are charging and disconnected, I'm going to replace this switch. So it was really easy. Just went to the auto parts store and they had a universal 4-wire switch in stock. So hopefully we'll be able to just pull this apart and do it quick. So on we go. Okay, there's the old switch. Here's the new one. So basically the same. 4 connections. There's a couple of wires on here that are disconnected currently. So like, I believe, is this one even going to the ignition? Maybe it used to. It definitely comes from the heater. So that explains why the heater doesn't work. So maybe that's power for the heater, and this is the actual wire to the motor. So we'll figure out the heater at some point here, but let's unravel this blue wire, which, like I said, clearly goes to the heater. Get it off of the ignition switch. So there we go. Wrap that over there. Those two are away. Perfect. This was probably the on and off originally for the heater, and it's locked up. So that was probably the fan. Then you have defrost, heat, vent. Those are cables. They're all seized. So I'll get those working, and then hopefully we'll have some heat. Now, everything else on here does appear to be connected, so we'll just put them back the same way. So we have to be documenting what we're doing here. So we'll clock this based on the plastic housing. So the long plastic housing, right, has the large red wire to the right of it. It has the large black wire to the left of it. And then the large yellow wire is on the third terminal, which shares a clip with the female spade orange wire. And then the blue wire is solo in the center. So let's take it off and get the other one hooked up. Oh, of course. So the new, I only brought one wrench. The new switch uses 3/8. This looks to be, the new one uses 5/16. This looks to be 3/8. So I'll be right back. All right. So I think a socket would have been a better idea. Let's see here if I can get away with this. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a socket. It's just gonna save me so much time. Fighting with the wrench, trying to fit with that plastic casting, it's just a pain. So I actually saw a 10mm socket right on top of my box, so that should work. That's the ratchet skipping, not the socket. Cheap ratchet. Come on. Huh. Oh, that's a bummer. Now, like everything else, I didn't bring enough tools. Let's see here. The whole thing is spinning, so I can't hold it with just my finger. Oh, come on. Let's try one of the other terminals. Nope. This is annoying. So there is, of course, a hex below, but my wrenches are too big to fit below. I need like a super skinny wrench or just a plier. So I'll be back with pliers. Gloves gotta go, even though it's cold. Ridiculously oversized vice grips instead of pliers. For the win. There it is. So that one's loose. Okay. These are going to much thinner wires behind there, which is a bit of a bummer. It's been played with, we'll say that, as any old thing. But I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, see? Butt connector, and then there's a vampire connector going somewhere else. So that's kind of, oh well. Nothing I can do about it. Just gonna have to live with it. Alright, but red wire's off. Next, let's see if we can't get hooked onto that. I called it black before, it's actually brown. Okay. That's good. Oh, you stink. You stinker. There we go. It's a better bite. Who would have thought this should be such a pain in the butt, but it is. Okay, brown guy is happy. And my fingers are frozen. So frozen. Comical how frozen they are, actually. Yeah, we're gonna have to do the same thing up there. Ridiculous. I can't even get on that with the socket, so that's gonna break. Don't want to do that. There we go. I was able to do that one by hand. I got lucky because the connector on this blue one just seems really, really weak and bendy. So I'm really lucky that it came off with just my thumb holding it from spinning on the stud. That's good news. Okay. Blue wire off. One to go. And we'll unplug that female spade orange one. And last but not least, it's the big yellow guy. Oh yes, that came free, luckily, without needing the vice grips. Awesome. Now I need to not lose this spade connector because it is separate from the yellow wire. So let's not drop that down in the carpet. Let's see. Nuts off. Spade connector is off. Perfect. And yellow wire is off. There we go. All right. So I'm going to be a wimp right now and go warm my fingers. And while I do that, I'm going to compare the writing on these and see if I can hook it up the same way. Because we're honestly not very sure. Should be fine, but let's take a peek while in the warm house. All right. What do we have here? Old. And oh, okay. So it goes accessory, on and start. It has to be in the center for the key to come out. That's really cheesy. I mean, it feels terrible, but that's okay. This was like $11. So, what did we say? Clock it to the long one. These are all the same length, of course. But this one's long, so that's how that was on there. And let me clean that off and see if we can read some of those. Okay, so I hope you guys can read it, but I certainly can. This says ignition. It says ignition on both sides of the stud. Next is accessory. And lastly is battery. So, what does this say? Are they in the same position? So that's clocked correct. And we want ignition to be like that. They are the same. So we have ignition, accessory, battery. Same as this one. So this is going to be my downwards clock like it was on this one. So, piece of cake. We'll get that reinstalled as soon as I have feeling in my fingers again. Just did a Sharpie mark saying that this is going to be my downward clock. That's my 6 o'clock. Alright, slightly warmer hands. Let's pop these off. Of course, they're tight for packaging purposes. Okay. One. These have lock washers. At least the studs are copper. At least copper coated, so that's nice for an $11 part. And last one. Okay. Great. So I have empty studs ready to receive wires. Now, we said Sharpie mark is my downward 6 o'clock. So, if that's the case, accessory is the yellow and orange. So we'll start with that. There we go. Get that shifter out of the way. So yellow on accessory. Put the spade, male spade on there. Lock washer, followed by a nut. Come on. It's fighting me a little. There we go. That's better. Wasn't down far enough, couldn't get the thread started. Alright, so I'm going to clock that sort of upwards facing. Take my I'll leave that kind of up like that. Alright, I'd call that tight. Now my orange spade can go back on. No idea what it does, but it's on. Blue to the center. See if we can get that nut started. Yep. Not too shabby. Hold that while I tighten it, if I can. Good. Now, if I remember, brown was battery and red was ignition, right? You guys gonna remind me if I'm wrong? Okay, brown is on. Get the nut started. Yep. Okay, see about giving that a little tighten. Yep, tight. And last but not least, geez, I can't even speak. It's gonna be my red for ignition, which in this truck goes to an electronic. Yes, electronic, which is a bummer, but whatever. It's not a truly mechanical diesel for all of the people who are in tune to that sort of thing. It does have an electronic shutdown. Oh, darn. But that's okay. It doesn't bother me. Tight. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so it's all hooked up. Let's get this in here, like so, and see if we can't write it down and get it clocked in the right sort of area. The hole is way too big, but I don't have any patience to sort that out, so it is what it is. So that's clocked nicely. Let's see if I can tighten it without it moving. Stay. There we go. Yeah. A bit more. That's tight enough for now. Oh, I damaged my warning sticker. Dummy. That's too bad. Doesn't really matter. We have a key. Okay. Let's just try it out here. We'll turn off the battery charger. Flip this guy back on. There it is. Pop back in. Neutral. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we got a light. That's good. Gotta figure out what that starter's grinding for. But there it is. Key switch. Easy project done. On to the harder stuff. Hey guys, I just took the air filter out to do some ether and I dropped it on the ground and I was like, wow. Then I rolled it a couple times. So let's see here. Oh yeah. Okay. See what it looks like. I'd say it was pretty filthy. So, dirtier than I thought it was. Just all this nonsense, crazy. So, let's get the other one opened up and put that back in, not this filthy old thing, because it's done. All right, old filter, new filter. I think they look the same. Definitely cleaner. That is the same, which means stick it in like such. Pull that back, that back. There, air is filtered. Perfect. That is going to go to the dump. I'd say that's almost full. Put a quart or two in it. There we go. Okay guys, so I got the bed up and I did do some Googling about adding fluid. I guess these old systems, the reservoir is the piston itself. I never knew that, but now I know. And apparently that's your fill plug and your bleeding sort of burp valve. So I got it blocked. All the weight is off it. And PTO's, the raise lever is all the way in the rearward position. So if it does go down, it's not going to be a surprise. It's not going to be fast. There'll be noises and stuff. But I did disconnect my battery. Just because my battery charger, because I want to be able to move in case there's an issue. So let's set up you guys so you can get an angle of what's going on here. There we go. Hopefully you don't fall down. And let's just go in here and give this a little bit of a love tap. Oh, it's really loose. That's nice. And just slowly. Now, I'm probably being overly cautious here because I think it'd be a pretty stupid design if you pop this and every bit of pressure comes out of the piston. But maybe that's how it works. I don't know. Doesn't seem like that's the case. I have to imagine there's like a check valve at the bottom. So again, let me know in the comments, because this is new to me, this older tech. So there's that. Doesn't seem to be moving or creaking or doing anything weird. So I'm going to get my small funnel and Well, there's tons of room in there. Get my small funnel and fill that up. All right. Perfect. I guess we should probably get a better look in there. My other gallon of AW32 has gone missing, of course. So I don't remember if I used it in green Gerty or what, but let's take a peek, see if I can hop up on there and give you guys a better view. Okay, let's see here. Is there a way for me to turn the light on? Let's see. So, definitely a lot of empty space in the reservoir. So I know that I'm gonna need more. I'm already certain. I guess we're making our ride. Good news is I just let the dogs out so we can go do our downtown run. I was hoping to actually go get some gravel today, but that might have to wait till tomorrow. Not even nearly enough. Oh yeah, I can't even see it. So, okay. Downtown, here we come. That's a bummer is there's a lot of salt and sand on the road now, and I haven't undercoated that truck yet. So I don't really want to go out until the roads are dry, but we need that gravel. So might have to anyway. Wipers and hydraulic fluid. Let's get back to work. Okay, on we go. Just holding it weird so I can try and see the level. I don't really want it to spill on the ground, but I feel like we got quite a lot more, quite low. part of the issue is if it... I don't know if the seal on the pump was gone before, but it's gone now, and it's leaking a lot. So we're going to have to rebuild the pump, which is a bummer. Actually, it kind of looks like the pump has a broken weld holding it on, so it's going to be worth our while to fix that. Uh-oh. We went too far. Darn. Let me see if I can jam that in so it stops leaking. I'll be right back. But I'm happy. Alright, so this is all about quickness and precision, which is not something I'm known for, but we're going to try and pop and plug, and then go back into our open jug. So, let's see. And pop, plug, open jug. Yeah, that's a bummer. Hopefully, though, it's not actually going to be overfilled because we're going to use it, and that'll put some back into the piston cavity. So we'll close that down. Keep softening that up. Go. Only a tiny bit went on the ground. Nothing some speedy dry can't fix. Luckily I'm on pavement. Okay. So let's try and cycle it a few times. Wonder if it'll start without starting fluid. It's been a while since I turned it off, so probably not. She's definitely cold-blooded, like very, very cold-blooded. Hey! Look at that. Alright. Will she go up? Nothing happening. to hit that with a hammer. That's great news. So she's basically going right to the stops. I think there's still some air in the system. I'll see about blocking it and opening it again. Nice. Let's crack that line. See what happens here. Or crack that fitting. Oh yeah, there's air. Lots of air. Like a lot of air. Maybe it'll take some more fluid now. Yep. It will. All right, well, so that's that gallon gone. There was probably a quarter gallon in that one I had here at the house. I do have one more gallon in the car, so let's see if it'll take all of that. Okay, let's do some more cycling now. we definitely still have air in the system. I'm just gonna let that spit for a bit. Okay. All right, so I'm happy with that. Bed goes up and down the way I need it to. I'm gonna move on to some under the hood stuff. I need to put windshield wipers on. I need to tighten this alternator. This belt is crazy loose, like not doing anything at all. Even if it's tight, I don't think the alternator is gonna work. It doesn't seem like anything in here is hooked up right, but that's okay. The wipers are air, so I can use those if needed. And I'll have enough battery to run the lights if needed. So, I'll move on to that stuff now. All right, so that's tighter, but it looks like it might wanna twist off, which is probably why it was the way it was. It doesn't look particularly aligned. So if you see, it's not great. So we'll see. It might be fine on there. It might fall right off. Let's fire it up. Definitely not right, but it's better than nothing. I can't believe it, but we are charging at a perfect 14.2. So it was just a loose belt. So I should have nice bright headlights now. Let's find out. Oh yeah, big difference. That one died. It was working the other day, but that's a big improvement. Awesome. All right, guys, the pit's closing in 45 minutes, so I guess we're not going to get gravel today, but lots of success. Full motion dump, charging at 14.2 at the batteries, an ignition switch installed. So I feel fine with that. None of these things were as easy as they should have been, as always. So tomorrow we'll pick up and take this for its first run to the pit. All right, guys, the day is wrapping up. I haven't been filming this part of getting the lights into place, but they work. My wires don't break, and I can ground it. Oh, broke my wires. But they work. So it's just tedious. So I haven't been filming it, getting this off, and there's like dirt and rust on the bolt. I think that one I'm gonna have to drill. But anyway, I'm saying I'm about done for the day. We'll finish up these lights in the morning, and then we'll be able to go get some gravel. And I really just want those lights to work. You can already see, some of these work. It's totally random what lights work right now. So, but I'm gonna call it a day. It's freezing. So we'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, guys, it's quite a long while later, but I got a fit of energy here, and I decided to finish. So there we go. Perfect. They work. Tons and tons of supposed struggles, but it wasn't too bad. My fingers are very cold. I wonder if I have reverse lights. Let's throw it in reverse with the key on. I bet I don't. I'll be surprised if I do. Ha! Now, why I only have one is very strange, but I'm amazed that it works. It's probably the wire to it is bad. I don't think it's my connection or my bulb or anything, but that's good. So, all right, guys. I'm exhausted and I'm very cold, but we're done. It worked. Tail lights, which means gravel tomorrow. Awesome. Thanks for watching.